Thank you for joining the Czarnowski Beer team today as we discuss making your annual meeting virtual. While we're working hard to adapt to this new reality, social distancing is also working to slow the spread of COVID-19. Although all of this surely is unprecedented, you can't stop time, and not everything can be put on hold. In fact, many things can't be put on hold, and cooperative and condominium residents are realizing that also applies to annual meetings. A lot of boards have been opting to postpone annual meetings for as long as possible, but it's just not a sustainable strategy. Which is why at Czarnowski Beer, we recommend holding the annual meeting virtually. Technology has provided us with creative solutions to our new everyday problems. So instead of postponing, host a virtual meeting. By hosting a virtual meeting, you eliminate costs, protect your community, and ensure no one has to further risk exposure to fulfill any board-related duties. Unfortunately, the most common roadblock we hear regarding getting this done is simply how. Many board members would love to get their annual meetings done right now, but they're not sure how. There's good news, however, because if you consider the recommendations made in this presentation, even the least technologically advanced person on your board will be able to host a virtual annual meeting. We've broken it down into 3 easy steps: how to prepare for the meeting, running your dress rehearsal, and conducting the meeting. Preparing for the meeting encompasses 3 major parts: giving notice, discussing with legal, and setting up your technology. The notice of the meeting is usually sent by hard copy, but considering that snail mail may be temporarily affected by the pandemic, you may want to consider sending it by email. As for the official and legal requirements of notifying owners of the meeting, feel free to use any form of communication, like Building Link or even your building's Facebook group, to keep owners up to date and remind them of the annual meeting. When creating your virtual annual meeting notice, make sure to mention that it will be held online in accordance with Governor Cuomo's executive order and good social distancing practices. Legal counsel should be consulted to ensure the meeting is held in accordance with compliance with bylaws and statutory requirements. Also, don't forget to send any further communications with required links and related login information by electronic means to ensure everyone has access. We also suggest providing owners with topics of board interest and setting up a way for them to submit questions in advance of the meeting to reduce the amount of back and forth that can occur to derail it. Using software like Zoom, ScreenLeap, or Google Hangouts allows you to host your virtual annual meeting with ease. Some of the advantages of using these platforms are that you can use them in browser, meaning you won't have to download a new program or application. They let you participate via phone call, so people can take part even if they don't have a smartphone, PC, or laptop. And they have a highlight feature that shows whoever is speaking in case anyone gets confused. Having all of that technology is great, but it won't make sense to have it at all if you're just fumbling through, which is what makes an expert meeting host the real key to running an effective and efficient meeting. The virtual meeting host has control over attendees. They can mute everyone while reports are given, conduct elections, recognize individual owners during a designated Q&A session, exclude a participant who was not invited or is not supposed to be attending, and otherwise ensure the meeting runs as smoothly as possible.
In reality, I've heard that social work kind of has very high standards and like good standards of other professions don't have. Yeah.
Hold on.
What's up?
Tony, I can see you.
We can all see you.
Just like a regular annual meeting, Board members will want a virtual meeting to run as smoothly as possible, so a meeting host is essential. Speaking of having the meeting run smoothly, we recommend that boards have a dry run in advance of the official annual meeting to test any security settings like passwords and authentication. Also, have the designated host practice muting, unmuting, giving another presenter control, and screen sharing, along with properly executing voting through the chat feature. When the day of your meeting comes, you should aim to have everything set up and ready to go 15 minutes before the scheduled start time. This should be included in the meeting notice and will provide time to iron out any access issues participants may have. Then, start the meeting on time and make the best of it. You should consider recording the meeting, but remember, if the meeting is going to be recorded, this should be mentioned prominently in any meeting notices. Consider using a registration form or other means of taking attendance, such as a roll call or acknowledgement of each participant. We recommend turning off the chat feature except during Q&A sessions and voting. This helps everyone stay focused. While for many annual meetings, board elections are a quick formality, this is not true for all. To ensure compliance with board election policies and procedures, meeting attendees must be given an opportunity to put forth nominations from the floor. We recommend allowing chat and audio and including the chosen procedure in the meeting notice. The process includes all those on the ballot offering a brief statement of their background, qualifications, and vision for the building. Allowing nominees to take questions can significantly slow the process. When it comes time to vote, it's best to allow each participant to cast their vote privately. A great benefit of Zoom is that it allows attendees to be directed to a chat room which allows them to privately cast their votes, and chat room voting is automatically recorded. Setting the privacy parameters before starting the vote limits the disclosure of individual votes. The vote should also be directed to the designated inspectors of election. For those who will not be participating via video conferencing or are uncomfortable voting that way, we suggest enabling voting privately by email to a designated email address during the voting period. This will, of course, be necessary for telephone participants. Texting to a designated cell phone is also an option. Making your annual ownership meeting virtual can be quite beneficial, although challenging. If you need any additional assistance, feel free to contact us. Thanks for watching.